Okay, so originally when I first made this script, I was just going to talk about my cat Ferry, and what it was like having a pet that was mine for the first time. Classic jokes about orange cats being dumb, the whole works. I was even starting on the storyboards. Well, as orange cats do, Ferry did something dumb and turned a maybe 5-minute video into however long this video will end up being. To summarize, I originally got Ferry off the street around a year ago when he was a kitten, around 5 to 8 weeks old. He didn't fight being picked up off the street, so chances are he wanted us to adopt him as soon as he saw us. By us, I mean me and my mother, since I still live with my parents at the moment. He's been with me ever since. I've grown up around cats and dogs all my life, but Ferry was the first cat that was mine, not my family's. Ferry does the usual orange cat stuff, knock things over when I'm not giving him attention, sitting on me and refusing to get off. He also likes sitting on the windowsill and looking outside. He always purrs when he does that. He especially loves seeing the dogs outside. He once fell and accidentally brought the blinds down with him. That was an interesting thing to put back up for the first time. Anyways, enough about Ferry being adorable, let me talk about his latest hassle that became the main motivation for me wanting to get a job. It started when Ferry started scratching himself more than usual. Very quickly I realized he had fleas, and got some old flea meds from my mom to put on him. It didn't really work, unfortunately, because the flea meds we had were too old by that point and thus ineffective, so I bought some more flea meds using my own money. Remember this, it won't be the only time I bring it up. As soon as the new flea meds came, I put it on him, and he finally stopped scratching. Yay, I thought. Problem solved, right? Nope. After a couple of days, I saw that some patches of fur were falling out, and he went back to scratching. I was confused. I was convinced we had dealt with the fleas, so why is he still scratching? I then noticed a patch where the fur had been falling out, and how Ferry was specifically scratching that area. I went to my mom for advice, and it turns out Ferry was having an allergic reaction to the medication. Other than spraying the rash with some antibiotics, it was good to heal on its own, so we wanted to just spray and then let it heal. The issue is, if Ferry kept on itching the patch, it would never heal. Not only that, Ferry does a weird thing where he chews while itching, gnawing lightly at where he's grooming. So, unfortunately, leaving him alone would only cause Ferry to make the patch into a full-on open wound, which unfortunately happened because of the fact we left him alone for so long. So, with no other choices, I used more of my money to buy a pink cone with strawberries on it, and put it on Ferry in hopes of improving the healing process. If you're wondering why we didn't just bring Ferry to the vet, it's because we neither had the money nor the insurance to do so. Heck, we barely even have health insurance as is. So our only choice was to MacGyver this as much as possible. Ferry didn't like the cone at first, which pet hasn't, but after putting it back on multiple times, Ferry eventually got used to it. This is also where Ferry's intelligence shines the brightest. Because of instead Ferry learning to drink water using the cone like a normal cat, Ferry just let the cone get soaked and licked it. I'm not kidding. His main hobby was licking the cone as much as possible. Ferry's intelligence glowed as dimly as a light bulb about to go out, because you could just see the emptiness of his head in those eyes. Not a thought there. He only had a thought if pigs proved to fly that day. Eventually, we soon fell into a normal-ish routine. Let Ferry have fun, spray the wound, he licks out whatever brain cells he has left, go to sleep, repeat. That was until one day, days away from him being able to take the cone off, he ripped it off out of nowhere and gnawed at the injury until it was red in the span of like 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we were back to square one. We theorized that the cone was no longer good, and so we were on to MacGyver invention number 2. I saw on TikTok how someone used one of their own leggings to keep their own orange cat from gnawing at something that they were healing from, so I got the idea to do the same with Ferry. Me and my mom got a bunch of stuff from the first aid kit, stuff that neither sticks to Ferry's fur or irritates the skin. We also got a stretchy sock to put over Ferry so that he can't gnaw at the injury some more. We put it together and wham! It lasted a whole 5 minutes. I'm not kidding. It kept sliding back and exposing the injury, causing Ferry to chew at the injury, so we had to scrap that too. We were back to square one once again, and at this point, putting the cone back on would just restart the cycle, so we were just forced to leave it alone. It's been a couple weeks since then, around a month, and it worked? It's nearly fully healed. Ferry is back to his usual chaotic self, just has been at the window a lot more than usual. Despite the chaos that is Ferry, having him around is genuinely a blast. When I move out, I'm definitely getting another cat for him to play with. Hey peeps! I am so sorry that this video took so much longer to make than expected. I started it in December of 2025 and only just finished it as I'm recording this February 19th of 2026. But I hope you like what I'm doing now. I decided to replicate what the other cool people were doing and do a little tiny end card. Maybe with some fun facts, with how the video got made, life updates, stuff like that. I've got quite a bit of other video ideas planned, but with how long this video took to make, I'm not gonna promise that it'll be done within the next month or so, but I will try my best to get a video or short out at least bare minimum every 2 months. That's the schedule I'm gonna give myself. But until that video comes out, bye!